That's a rocket.
Hey guys, it's TJ again with another Bean Dip Explains It All episode, and today I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about the Terminator. Come with me if you want to learn. It all started in 1984 when Arnold Schwarzenegger played the iconic role of the murderous cyborg from the future. Since then, this movie has stood the tests of time. Popular quotes like,
"I'll be back. Hasta la vista, baby."
Or even the nickname the Governator. In the original movie, just called The Terminator, a battle of the future takes place in the present when the Terminator, or T-800, Cyberdyne Systems Model 101,
Cybernetic organism, living tissue over metal endoskeleton,
is sent back in time by an all-powerful supercomputer known as Skynet to kill the mother of its worst enemy, John Connor. So Sarah Connor, John's mother, is intercepted by Kyle Reese, a soldier from the future, sent back by John to protect her. They battle it out in a factory and terminate the Terminator. In the process, Kyle dies and becomes John's father. Not in that order. The craziest thing, I think, is that for a movie made in the 80s, it's pretty damn close to our present day and not so distant future. Let's look at something a bit closer here. In the movie, Kyle Reese explains that a computer defense system is built by Cyberdyne Systems for SACNOR. SACNOR is an acronym meaning Strategic Air Command North American Aerospace Defense Command. It is a fictional combination of two separate North American defense agencies. The computer defense system is known as Skynet, a network of supercomputers that employ artificial intelligence in order to replace human beings as commercial and military aircraft pilots, and for the control of other military systems, including nuclear missiles. I know you're thinking,
well, drones are actually manned by real people.
Shut up. We're already past the development stage of having military aircraft being piloted by artificial intelligence. Don't believe me? Look up the X-47 Bravo. So far, they sent it out on missions to refuel and land on aircraft carriers. I'm pretty sure they had more in mind when designing that thing. The movie was such a success that it's now had 4 sequels, a not so successful television series, although in its defense, it's amazing. Terminator: The Sarah Connor Chronicles premiered in January 2008 and was a 2-season television series that aired on Fox. It follows the lives of John Connor and Sarah Connor after the events of Terminator 2 Judgment Day and ignores the events of T3 and T4. There was also a crap ton of comic books and video game adaptations, but since it's all based on the original movie, I'm gonna stick with most of the cinematic stuffy stuff. The sequels are as follows: Terminator 2 Judgment Day, Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines, Terminator Salvation, and the newly released Terminator Genesis. If you haven't seen any of these films, spoiler alert. In Terminator 2, John Connor is just a young boy in a new Terminator, model T-1000. He's made out of liquid metal, he can turn into people and make cool knives and hands. Is sent back in time to kill John Connor. In return, John Connor from the future reprograms the Terminator, model T-800, to go back and protect himself. The Terminator snags little John and helps his mother escape the loony bin before the T-1000 can kill them both. Later in the movie, we find out that Miles Dyson is basically the guy responsible for all this happening. Sarah Connor, now beefed up and batshit crazy from PTSD, tries to kill him and stop it all from happening. When she doesn't succeed, they all decide to team up with miniguns and grenade launchers to destroy all the research. They blow stuff up, get chased into a factory again. Arnie, while delivering some classic one-liners, gets his ass handed to him by the T-1000. John keeps cracking his voice, and Sarah unloads a shotgun at the T-1000 near a ledge, hovering over a hot vat of steel. When she runs out, Arnie, now running on backup power, comes out of nowhere and delivers an HEM-406 grenade of beautiful terminating justice at the T-1000, making him explode into something resembling like one of those creatures from The Thing. Then he falls into the liquid metal and dies. And then Arnie has to go down like a champ, saying goodbye and giving a bodacious thumbs up. In the third installment, John is a grown-up paranoid douchebag. His mom's dead, and we're introduced to yet again another Terminator, the TX. But it's cool because you get to see her butt. So they send back another Arnie to protect him and his future wife, Kate Brewster. And by they, I mean Kate sends him back because John's now dead in the future. Judgment Day still comes, and there's nothing they can do to stop it. Arnie dies, comes back, battles it out with the hot chick, and then sends John and Kate into a bunker so they don't blow up. The end. In the fourth installment, we get to see John Connor be a badass because he's played by Batman. It takes place in the future where a death row inmate named Marcus Wright, who signed his body over to Cyberdyne, idiot, wakes up in the future and has no idea he's become a machine. On his way to LA, he stumbles across a young boy version of Kyle Reese. Kyle has a little friend, she's a mute, named Star. And together they find the resistance that John Connor is a part of because of his radio broadcast. Kyle and Star are captured along with some other folks, and Marcus finds a down pilot, a part of the resistance, becomes friends with them, blows himself up. John and everybody, including Marcus, realize he's a cyborg. He gets tortured. John orders men to execute him. Marcus escapes, saves John's life. John and Marcus team up to infiltrate and destroy Skynet's headquarters and find Reese. Marcus discovers from Skynet that he was built to lure John into a trap, and a bunch of old guys in a submarine get blown up from a phony signal. They all start fighting T-800s, but there's no laser guns in the future, so it's really hard to fight them. So John is mortally wounded after they free the prisoners and Reese, but Marcus donates his heart. It's okay, we can save John, because luckily there is still a guy around in the post-apocalyptic future that could perform heart surgery. It gets pretty intense there. So now we come to Terminator Genesis. Currently, the day we are filming this right now is the day before it comes out.
Why?
So we haven't seen it yet, and
Why?
probably wouldn't want to say too much.
Why?
Since, you know, a lot of you haven't probably seen it either. If you haven't, though, seriously go see it, because I'm seeing it like tonight. It's gonna be awesome. And by tonight, I mean like in the past. You're watching this.
Why?
I'm speaking to you in the future. Fun facts about Terminator. Number 1, in the scene where Arnold decides he's gonna go all Terminator and shoot the T-1000 in the face, that's not a stuntman. That's actually Arnold being a badass. Number 2, in the first 2 films, twins were used a lot. And Linda Hamilton's twin, Leslie Hamilton Guerin, was used a lot for all the scenes we saw several Sarah Connors. In an outtake scene where Sarah Connor is like drilling into the Terminator's head to get to his CPU chip, that's not a mirror that we see her drilling into his head, because she's actually going in there on this prosthetic skull, and on the other side is her sister doubling for her, trying to do the exact same movements that she's doing. Super great scene, really well done. Great job, James. Near, far, wherever you are. Number 3. During the filming of the Terminator, James Cameron had become so broke that his mom had to mail him buy one, get one free Big Mac coupons just so he could afford to eat. He'd eat one and then save the other for the next day. Number 4, the computer effects team that worked on Jurassic Park are the same people who worked on Terminator 2 and The Abyss. The Abyss came first, which introduced a never before used technology. That in turn was practically mastered for the effects on T2 with the T-1000, which had blown so many people away and shown that such effects could be used for other things in place of claymation, like dinosaurs. Number 5, Linda Hamilton actually learned to pick those locks, and really does pick the locks in the movie. She insisted on doing it without help so it would look real. In the first movie, when the Terminator is on the hood of the car punching a hole in the windshield and his jacket's all smoking, they got that effect by pouring acid on his jacket. James claims that it was a mild acid, but come on, it was freaking smoking, man! If you'd like something explained, please leave it in the doobly-doo and we'll get right to it. Till then.
Hasta la vista, baby.